Hello everyone, welcome back to Hope Worldwide. So today I have written the notes already about pilot study. So I thought we can discuss about pilot study. So what do you mean by pilot study in research? It's a beautiful term, right? So pilot study is all about preliminary study that you are doing before conducting the major study, okay? So one term is about preliminary study. Second term I have written here, a trial study. Okay, so where you can test the feasibility, you can test the methodology, is there anything to improve for the next time, everything we can find out by means of pilot study. And once again one more term that is called miniature research study. Okay, it's because I have written something 550, hope you understand this. If you are taking sample size 500 for the major study, you may not need those 500 sample for your pilot study, yeah, you will go for 50 small scale study. So another term that we call for pilot study is called small scale research study, okay. Yeah, so now how do we define it? Definition is, it is defined as any definition can be written: preliminary study that we conduct before conducting or before organizing the major study, or it is also called as a trial study, or it's called as a miniature version of major study. Okay, so in order to see or ensure the feasibility of research, right? Yeah, so let's go to objectives. What are the main objectives of pilot study? Why do we have to perform pilot study? Okay, you can remember 5 points here. Number 1, to test the feasibility. Okay, I have already told you what is feasibility in the last class. I think whether is it convenient to conduct the study, major study, because you see research is not an easy task. You have to put your energy, you have to put your economy, in the sense by means of your money, energy, time. Okay, so a lot of resources are required. So before we conduct a major study, we need to make sure that the study is going to be feasible, or is there any obstacle that you are going to face, okay, to remodify. Now second one, to bring remodification in methodology. So I have taught you this methodology, I guess. So what is methodology? How the study has to be done, whom, why, how, all these questions we can remodify, or we need to find out the right answer for all this. So to have more emphasis on methodology, we can focus on pilot study, okay. Now very important thing is, like you are going to use a tool for data collection. Could be a questionnaire, could be interview, or any kind of research tool, right? So in order to see the consistency of that research tool, we go for pilot study. So that term is called reliability, okay, to test the reliability. So reliability, how do you test the reliability? Statistical application is more mandatory to test reliability, right? Yeah, so that is one thing. Next, can you give me some more examples, like why do we conduct pilot study? Yes, you can identify the drawbacks or the limitations. Drawbacks or limitations, or is there anything to improve? Is there anything to revise? That's what I said, methodology or sometimes setting. And very important, who are the people who are going to give you data? Could be participants. Are they actually willing to participate in the study? Are you feeling any difficulty? Are you facing any difficulty in getting the subjects or clients? All these are pertaining to pilot study. You will get a wonderful idea how your major study can be carried out, okay. So you can understand about study subjects. Understand the availability of study participants. Okay, you can make sure that whether participants are available. If you are able to get 50 for your miniature study, and if it is okay, you are getting the participants so easily, of course if you change the setting, you can get your 500 participants for major study, okay. Yeah, then what else can be there? Another objectives of pilot study is about to make changes in all the process of research. Like you can change the methodology, you can change the data collection method, you can change or remodify data collection tool, and very important thing, ethics, ethical aspects. Certain ethical aspects are always associated with pilot study, the major study, right? Getting ethical aspects related to getting the participants. If you have available participants, sometimes they are not willing to participate, right? If they are willing to participate, you cannot just like that take them to your study until you take your informed consent. There are so many ethical considerations which contribute for research study. So you can make sure all these things, all these criteria are fulfilled by means of conducting pilot study. Okay. So now let me talk about the guidelines. Hope the objectives are clear for everyone. Now I am going to teach you about what are the major guidelines to be set for conducting pilot study. Okay. So now if I am conducting a research in Sir C.V. Raman General Hospital, Bangalore, my major study is being conducted there. Alright. So I need 100 healthcare workers from C.V. Raman General Hospital. That is for my major study. Now, how many I may require for pilot study? I will go for say 550, 10% of total sample size for the major study. So always remember, number one guideline is 10% of sample size of major study will be selected for pilot study. Okay. Second one, where is the setting what I have told you for my major study? Sir C.V. Raman General Hospital. Am I going to conduct my pilot study here? No, because those if I am taking 100, what would be my pilot study sample size? 10. Those 10, if I am conducting pilot study, they may repeatedly participate for my major study as well. So what will I do in pilot study? I will change the setting. Okay. To avoid any kind of errors, what? Change of setting of the study, change of setting, that is second criteria to be followed in pilot study. Third one, what is third one? As I told you, in research we are not going to use mathematics. What are we using? We use statistics. Okay. So we have to compute statistical analysis and come to a conclusion that okay, this research tool is reliable. To test the reliability, always we go for Carl-Pearson test that I will be explaining you in the upcoming videos. So you just write, you can just by heart or understand this as to test the reliability of the research tool. Okay. So any pilot study, your objective should be testing the reliability. Okay. You cannot go out of focus. So these are major guidelines, and of course as we do, it's not that you are doing lot of ethical dimensions for major study, we will take permission from Sir C.V. Raman General Hospital. So I may not go for this, I will go for this pilot study in K.C. General. So I can't take only for my permission for major study. Whatever formalities I am following in Sir C.V. Raman General Hospital, I need to follow all those procedures even in K.C. General Hospital. That means all legal and ethical guidelines should be followed even for pilot study. Okay, you can't say that oh, it's a trial study, we may not require informed consent. No, we need to take informed consent from 10 subject study participants. Okay, so these are all major criteria or the guidelines for conducting pilot study. Okay, so this is about the trial study, which is also called as miniature version of major study, and I have taught you what is pilot study, definition, objectives, guidelines, and if you want to write what is the significance of pilot study, you can make a mnemonic like this. P stands for planning for the major study or prioritizing the modification for major study. Okay, I stands for it can inspire the researcher to make necessary modification, okay, or it gives an insight for the researcher to make modification. Okay. And L stands for lean towards checking or always testing the reliability, leaning towards, the focus should be testing the reliability of the research study. Okay. Now what is O stands for, and T, time frame is very important. Pilot study, if you are taking major study 6 months, you don't need 6 months for conducting pilot study since it's a trial study. So focusing on that time frame, and today's question of the day, you can write for O. The letter O stands for anything that is related to pilot study. Hope if you are able to follow my class, please comment the answer. So thank you so much for watching, and this is about pilot study. It's also called as miniature study of research. Thank you very much.